isn't it? 12th of March. So it's coming up for the 4-year anniversary, which means amazingly, it's the 4-year anniversary of the COVID lockdowns all starting. It's quite something as well, isn't it? So yeah, we got Eileen in the chat box saying hello, greetings from the Netherlands. So yeah, I'm here a little bit late, so we haven't really got much time to do chat things. But if a few people want to say something in the chat box where you are, how you are, it's always nice. And we got Nat saying there's no Zoom info on the events page. It is there, but it's in blue. It says to join Zoom, click here, and you click into it. So it hasn't got the whole address there anymore. It's just got it as a link. Looks like Shannon's been doing some tidying up in the background anyway. No meeting ID. That's probably true. There isn't a meeting ID. Does that matter? If you just click in, because you're here, I can see that, Nat. I could ask Shannon to put the meeting ID back again. There may be a security reason why she's taken it away. I'll ask her about that. Meanwhile, we've got Richard saying, hi, happy to be here. And Valerie, good evening from Brussels. I look forward to the space with anticipation each week. Got Janet from Manchester, Debbie from Hereford, Linda from Oxfordshire. Oh yeah, so Nat's saying the Zoom ideas help for people who use separate devices. Good. I'll ask Shannon to put it back. Thanks for flagging that up. Janet in Manchester. We've got a first time here from Melissa in Buckinghamshire. Thanks for having me. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you and pleasure to have everybody. And then we've got Donna from a soggy Manchester, Lizzie from Old Tupton, Eileen in Whitstable, Anne in Germany, Helen in Suffolk, always happy to be here. Ruth, hello from Ipswich, glad to be back after a lot of work travel kept me away. So Ruth is one of our trustees. So really big welcome to you, Ruth. And thank you for all the work you do behind the scenes for Breathworks. Got Meg from Todmorden, Eileen from Fort William, Lorraine from Northern Ontario, Anthony from Panama, and Caroline from Devon. Good. Okay, so it's 7:02, so let's begin. Excuse me. I'd just like to tell you about another event that's coming up. At the moment we're getting our events published on our website, which is great. So you've got plenty of advanced knowledge about retreats and so on. So today I'd like to tell you about the nervous system retreat. Well, that's not what it's called. It's called balancing the nervous system. It's not just on the nervous system, it's how to balance the nervous system. And it's our big retreat for the year, 6th to the 13th of September. And it's hybrid, which means you can either come residentially or you can join online. And it's a repeat of a retreat we did last year that was really good. We really loved it. It seemed to be appreciated. And when we asked the hive mind of Breathworks, what retreat would you like this year? There's a lot of people voting for doing the nervous system, balancing the nervous system retreat again. For those of you who came last year, there'll be new material. So even if there wasn't new material, it's always very good to revisit things, and there will be some new material. So it's worth coming again if you didn't come last time. So Mark, if you could put the details in the chat box. Maybe, yeah, you could put them in now, and then we'll also put them in at the end of this meditation, so you don't need to spend the meditation following links. We don't want you to be doing that. We want you to be meditating. So we'll also put the link in at the end. Good. Okay, so I thought tonight we'd do a loving kindness practice or connection practice. So a meditation for the heart. I think that's always a good thing to do, isn't it? A meditation for the heart. So we'll bring kindness to ourselves, and then we'll bring kindness to others. Intentional well-wishing to ourselves and intentional well-wishing to others. But we'll start off by coming into the body, settling and arriving, and then we'll tune into our emotional experience and see if we can bring some warmth and kindness to that, and then extend that out to others. If you haven't been before, then really big welcome. And don't worry, I will lead the practice. So if you've never done this before, it doesn't matter. Just follow along as best you can. And for all of us, those of you who've been coming for a while, you'll know that it's really normal to wander. It's if you think, oh, I always get distracted in meditation, that is pretty normal. It's what minds do. So the training is we notice we've wandered off and then we invite our awareness back to the practice. So we don't judge ourselves harshly. We don't think, oh no, I'm failed or I'm no good at this. We think, wow, I'm really good at this because I've noticed that I've wandered and I'm teaching my mind to keep coming back to a focus. That's what we're doing with the training. So when you notice you wandered, you're succeeding at the practice, succeeding in the practice. Okay, so let's begin by setting ourselves up in our chosen position. And beginning to settle. And close our eyes if we'd like to. I always like to close my eyes. I find it helpful to draw my awareness inwards, but if you prefer to leave your eyes open or lower your gaze, that's also absolutely fine. And allowing the weight of the body to rest down into the support beneath us. The bottom resting on the chair, feet on the floor if we're sitting. If we're lying down, allowing the whole back of the body to rest down into the bed. Back of the head to rest into the pillow. Having a sense of settling and arriving. If you'd like to, you could take a few deeper in-breaths, then allow the out-breath to go all the way out. Settling, arriving, resting a little bit more, particularly with each out-breath. Letting go of what we've just been doing and letting go of what's coming next. And seeing if we can arrive in the present, in presence. And then when we're ready, we can allow our breathing to find its own natural rhythm. Allowing breath to pour into the body on the in-breath and out of the body on the out-breath. Seeing if we can allow this to be natural. Letting the buttocks be soft, resting into the support beneath them. Let the hands be soft. If we're sitting, we can have the hands resting on the legs or in the lap. If we're lying down, we can have the arms either stretched at the sides of the body, palms upwards, or resting with the hands on the body, palms downwards. It's completely up to you. Allowing the shoulders to fall back, the elbows to rest on the bed or the floor. And letting the jaw be soft. Tongue, lips soft. The eyes soft. broadening to be aware of the whole body, the legs, torso, the arms, neck, head, face. See if we can allow our awareness to rest right inside the whole body rather than thinking about the body in the abstract. Feeling the weight of the body, sensations in the body, breathing in the body. Resting inside these experiences as best we can. If you've got pain or discomfort in the body, noticing if we've got a harsh attitude, if we're tightening against it, pushing it out of awareness. Or maybe it's overwhelming. Let's see if we can just allow it into awareness with tenderness and kindliness, responding to our own pain the way we'd naturally respond to a loved one having this experience. Would it be soothing and kindly and gentle? Tending towards overwhelm, then we can broaden awareness aware of the whole body, including parts that aren't hurting. And if we're tending towards tightness and aversion and pushing away, then we can soften and soften with each in and each out breath. And letting the awareness in, little bit by little bit. Awareness of the discomfort that is. If you haven't got any pain or discomfort, then enjoying the absence. Resting in the pleasure of the absence of pain. And tuning into our emotional weather How are we feeling right now? The general feeling tone, the general mood. It might be intense, it might be vague, it might be clear, it might be confused. We're just allowing into our awareness, our emotional weather, as it were. Just letting it be there, breathing in, breathing out, being kindly. Now let's hold all of our experience and awareness. Responding to ourselves the way we naturally respond to a loved one. Allowing kindness to ourselves to pour into the whole body, heart, mind. If you're not feeling anything, that's absolutely fine. We can bring kindness to the fact that we're not feeling anything. Now staying centered and grounded, let's open our awareness and invite in a friend in our imagination. Somebody where the relationship is easy and warm and friendly. You might invite them in as an image or a feeling. It's having a sense of being in their presence as we sit here. I always like to imagine that we're just sitting quietly together, me and my friend. And let's see if we can really let this person into our hearts, into our awareness. Maybe letting go of all our views about our friend, meeting them as if for the first time, really taking them in. Beneath our superficial differences, seeing All the things we have in common. We're both breathing in and out. We both have pain that we tend to resist, pleasure we tend to chase after. We'll both be longing to love and to be loved in broadly similar ways, most probably. So resting in this sense of connection and commonality. If it works for you on the in-breath, imagine you're drinking in the presence of your friend. And on the out-breath, that love and well-wishing and kindness is pouring out. And your friend becomes completely bathed in these qualities. Be careful not to force or strain, allowing it to be natural. This natural sense of connection. Now staying centered and grounded, let's open our awareness still more and inviting everybody here. Meditating together, there's 104 of us now. In many different countries around the world, and there'll be other people over on YouTube. We all look different, different circumstances, and yet deep down, we share so much. The simple breath, tendency to be resistant to things we don't like, tendency to grasp after things that we do like, all the dramas that follow. A longing for peace and ease. So you might want to have a general sense of everybody, or maybe that there's people here that you know. You could pick out some different people, it's up to you. On the in-breath, breathing in awareness, really taking one another in, and then on the out-breath, breathing out well-wishing, kindliness. So we all get filled up with these qualities from one another. And now we're opening our hearts to include all beings everywhere. Humans and the creatures. Feeling deeply woven into life itself. Here we all are, participating. Now let's bring the weight of the body to the foreground of awareness. Staying connected to all the beings, but bringing the focus of awareness back into stability in the body. Groundedness. And let's have a few minutes at the end where we let go of any effort whatsoever. And we just sit or we just lie to absorb the effects of the practice. When we're ready, we can begin to bring a little bit of movement into the body. Fingers, toes, perhaps. Notice any tendency to want to rush. See if we can stay in the body, keep the breathing soft. Very gently and gradually transitioning out of the practice. And we can look at the screen and just take one another in. Good. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming along. Really, really wonderful to practice with you. And yeah, for those of you who are new, I always stay on for a little bit at the end, and people write in the chat box what they noticed in the practice, if they want to, and I always read this out. And Mark, a wonderful Mark, our invisible tech support person, he's put in the chat box again about this retreat in September, balancing the nervous system, and you can follow the link if you want to. I think it'll probably book up quite quickly. So if you're interested, then it's probably good to book sooner rather than later. And yeah, it's one of my favorite retreats. And I do it with Pambadarshini, who's a very dear friend of mine. We've known each other for 30 years, and she's a wonderful sort of yogi movement person. But we make it all very, very accessible for different abilities, of course. Okay, good. So I've got various people saying thank you. Richard, a good release. That's nice, a release. And then Claire, my third time here, very distracted today, but when I noticed, it went away for a bit, which was interesting. That's brilliant, Claire. That's exactly the training. So rather than thinking, oh, I'm useless at it because I'm distracted, as soon as you notice you're distracted, you're aware because you know what's going on. And therefore the distraction will go away for a bit. Exactly. So the training is being aware of whatever's happening. Good. Simon, battling breathlessness. Feel greater sense of ease now. Thank you. May everyone feel peaceful. Oh, that's lovely, Simon. Yes, that's interesting. Battling breathlessness, feel greater sense of ease now. Well, I'm really pleased to hear that. And sometimes just stopping like this, isn't it? Stopping and calming and settling can bring about greater ease. I can see you there on the screen. Yeah. And Debbie, appreciated the spaces and the practice. Thank you. Lots to notice. Good. Yes. Noticing in the spaces when we can just watch the mind. And Helen, beautiful practice. The connection made me feel lighter. It's interesting as well, isn't it? Made you feel lighter. And Laurie, thank you, Vidyamala and Mark. I'm so glad I was able to make it, albeit a few minutes late. I was enjoying the free session on Breathworks training modules, very helpful. Oh, well, that's a good excuse for being late, Lorraine. You were off it out. Virtual open day, I think we call it, don't we? Good. And Valerie, thank you so much, Vidyamala and Mark. Feel more alive each time. That's lovely. Yeah, I think this particular practice is very much about aliveness, isn't it? And connection. Eileen, thank you so much. I really needed this today. It's nice to notice how my friend's face in my mind makes me smile and feel warm. Nice to notice how my friend's face in my mind makes me smile and feel warm. So what you're pointing to there is the power of the mind. And one of the things that the Buddha said is what we dwell on, we become, or what we frequently ponder upon becomes the inclination of the mind, to put it more technically. So the power of the mind, so bringing your friend to mind, and then you smile, makes you feel warm. If you do that, if that becomes the sort of thing we do regularly, that becomes a habit, and then our mind changes to be a mind that's just really, really good at that. It's good, isn't it? Really, really good at doing that. Fiona, thank you so much. I've had toothache and was upset over it, and your Living Well with Pain book has been really helping. That's really good to hear. Toothache is particularly a horrible thing, isn't it? So I'm sorry about the toothache, but I'm glad that that's book is helping. And Meg, thank you for a calming practice. Thank you, Mark, as always. Katie, quote, deeply woven into existence, close quote. Yes, please. Well, we are, Katie. It's wonderful to think like that, isn't it? We are all deeply woven into existence because so often we sort of feel separate, don't we? But when we really drop deeper, we realize that we're all sort of part of this great stream of life. Yeah. And Kathy, feeling calm, soothed, and heart is brimming with love. Thank you all. That's nice. And Heather went deeper than before. Marion, one of her little poems, space 2, colon, pause and be, to be with the real me, to be kind to me, to you, to all, floating on a common sea of love and kindness. I love your little poems, Marion. Let's read that again. Space to pause and be, to be with the real me, to be kind to me, to you, to all, floating on a common sea of love and kindness. It's beautiful. And Noreen, thank you for a relaxing session. Fran, very peaceful now. And Melissa, Thank you. It is so comforting to share a space with so many strangers with whom we share common humanity. I need to go and call my friend now, who I have discovered I'm missing a lot. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, isn't that so interesting? We just sit quietly, turn our minds to this sense of connectedness, feel the love of the friend, and then act on it. That is so good. And I think Melissa said it was their first time here. And then Anita have had the most unbelievable, exciting 8 days. And so have been literally bouncing off the walls for a long period. It's wonderful. I so needed tonight. Thank you as always, Vidyamala. But can you bring the retreat forward from September to tomorrow, please? I'm afraid not. That's a lovely post, isn't it? You've had the most unbelievable, exciting 8 days. How wonderful is that? That's brilliant. Literally bouncing off the walls. Good. Afraid I can't move the retreat, but September will be here in no time. Karen, I love this practice. Thank you. I found myself grounding into my full-bellied, content body. I breathed in the universal love of all others for myself, then shared this quietly and warmly with a friend, our group, and all beings. I think I might have missed a stage, lost on a thought train between our group and all beings. No, you didn't miss the stage. That's the way I led it tonight. So you were present and correct. I came back to breathing in and radiating out love. I noticed throughout spikes of pain in my hip, lower back, and knee. It's like it wanted to chase me around my body, dispersing and arising in awareness. Thank you. Yeah, pain's like that, isn't it? But then you allowed it to disperse and arise in awareness. And then Kelly forgot all about the new hip for a few moments. I'll be using this along with the meds in the coming days. Thank you so much for providing this beautiful, nourishing space of grace. Space of grace. That's nice. So you've got a new hip. That's exciting. And I hope that it all settles down well. And amazing that you have to forget about it for a few moments and use it with the meds. That's a fantastic idea. Ja or Ger, lately I've been letting go of trying to be still during a practice and allowing myself to slowly change posture or position at times. It feels kinder. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You know, particularly for those of us who've got a lot of discomfort, and it's moving a little bit can be what we need. And then you can get this really interesting sort of subtle discernment. Am I moving because I'm fidgeting? Or am I moving because it will help me feel more present? And if you're moving because you're fidgeting, it can be interesting to try to be still. And if you're moving because your body's hurting, you just need to move, and then you can settle straight away again. Then it's good to move. So that can be an interesting inquiry. And then Julie, thank you and have a lovely evening, everyone. And then Natasha, thanks so much, Vidyamala. Really enjoy your lab practices. So nourishing and feel needed, very much needed at this time. Lovely to see you there, Natasha. Good. So we've reached the end of all the comments. So we'll leave it there, but really wonderful to see you all. Thanks for coming. And I feel all loved up and connected with you from that practice, which is wonderful. So thank you for giving me that gift. Good. So if you want to unmute to say goodbye, then please do so. And thanks again to Mark, as always, for doing the tech support.
Thanks, Vidyamala. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vidyamala.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Keep well.
Bye.
May you all be safe.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Bye all.
So grateful. Thank you. Be kind to
Good night,
yourself.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Colin.
I think you should record this bit because I like this bit at the end.
Is it you should record it or not on the YouTube thing? Don't even know whether it is. I always love this bit at the end. Yeah.
It's playing on YouTube.
We're still playing.
Oh, good. So everyone gets this.
Brilliant.
Good. Okay. Well, lovely to see you. Lovely to see you, Tash. I haven't seen you for years.
Good night.
Bye.